guys, it's Madison with Higher Vibrations News, and today I'll be interviewing Joey Beck and Michelle Carvalho, creators of Divine Spark. With Divine Spark, Michelle and Joey help people to find their spark in life with intuitive readings, life coaching, online workshops, and insightful YouTube videos. Let's give them a call to learn more about Divine Spark. Guys, how are you?
Hi,
Good. Hi,
we're so
Madison.
good.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you guys. So tell me a little bit about Divine Spark. How did it come about? What was your inspiration?
Yeah. I'll kick it off. So basically at Divine Spark, our mission is to help millions of people out of their darkness by spreading our light and sharing our voice. So specifically for us, that looks like life coaching with clients. So we do life coaching over the phone, sometimes in person, but it's mostly over the phone. I have a YouTube channel that's kind of sharing our voice, and then we also make crystal jewelry. I don't know if you're wearing any, but
I do.
so
Little
Michelle
piece.
kind of heads that front for the crystal
Yeah.
jewelry. And then we have we're working on some online courses, so we're building an online course for relationships that's going to come out before 2019. So our goal is to have it come out before then. So those are sort of our four things. Yeah, the life coaching, YouTube, crystal jewelry, and online workshops. So,
Nice.
and yeah, to answer your second part of that, it just came about basically out of us getting through our like own sort of dark periods, which,
Yeah.
Everybody has. So for me, it was more addiction related stuff. Was like in and out of jails and rehabs for most of my teenage years and into my sort of young 20s, and finally got it together and chose a different way shortly after my first son was born. So that was kind of my wake up call a bit.
Okay,
And
nice.
yeah, I don't know if you want to share about your dark periods.
Yeah, so my dark periods. So I battled anorexia and binge eating disorder, and that led to anxiety and wanting to self-harm, very dark thoughts. I was on anxiety medication too. But then I had this whole transformation. I had shingles. I had
Oh,
shingles right here, and I almost lost my eyesight. And that was like my body manifesting what was going on inside of me. And that was really my awakening moment that
wow.
inspired me to transform my life. So, and
Okay,
from that, here I am.
It's crazy.
good. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So what kinds of things contributed to your personal development and made you who you are today? Like tools, books, people, things like that.
Mm.
Love it. Yeah, I could go down that road for a
Yeah,
while.
you can.
So I'll try to pick some of the top ones. But yeah, for me, it definitely started with AA. So I got sober like through the 12 steps basically, and that was definitely my first sort of awakening. That I just learned a lot about myself, and then from there it really took off. The first big sort of spirituality, personal development book that really rocked me and kind of saved my life in ways was a book called The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle.
It's a great one. Yeah.
Um, yeah, just really all about, the title kind of says it all, but he explains it in a way that just kind of like pierces your body and it hits your soul, at least for me. And I'm constantly recommending that book, and just, it's crazy really how I was so lost in thinking about like the future. And then I was just replaying the past again and again. And it was like anything to like not be in this moment. And so that was the first time where I like really got present after reading that book. And then he has another book called The New Earth, and so I got super into that and kind of took off from there, where we do all kinds of weird stuff now. But I'll pass it off to you to.
All right.
So for me, the very first book, self-transformation book I read was You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. That book spoke so much to my soul. And from there, I discovered Gabby Bernstein one day while I was cooking, and I saw her videos on YouTube, and I just watched so many of them. And then I got her book, The Universe Has Your Back, and I read that, and that
Okay.
was fantastic.
That's right.
And from there, I just keep reading. I keep discovering all sorts of things, especially with this guy. He opened up a whole new world, like Eckhart Tolle and all those great inspirational people.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So who showed you love and positivity and made you find importance in it? Anyone in particular that just, maybe showed or introduced, not introduced, but maybe like what real love is in a way.
Yeah, that's a good question.
That was a good question.
For me, it's definitely my mother. It was kind of an interesting sort of love that I got from my mom, where it was like, it was so like powerful. But it was like one of those things to the point where like I didn't know like how to like function without it, if that makes any sense. Like I felt this extreme like love for my mom, but then like when I would like go to school and like if people were like mean or like bullied, I'm like, what the hell is like this isn't what I was taught. So it was
Right.
kind of weird where it was like it forged the person I am, and like I think I'm able to give love because of the way my mother raised me. But it's interesting because I kind of see how it made it hard for me in ways just because my mother was so loving, and like as we all know, sometimes the world can be pretty harsh. So,
That's
but yeah, my
true.
mom's definitely the big one for me.
Okay. What about
For
you?
me, for me, it was my parents for sure. They showed me tons and tons of love, unconditional love, and even my sister. Like the relationship I have with her is pure love.
Right.
My parents, they weren't good with each other. They were always fighting, but they, to their children, they always told us they loved us. They always hugged us. Yeah, so definitely my parents and my grandmom too. My grandmom is a sweet soul.
Yeah, yeah, she is.
Oh God, she's like the definition of unconditional love. She's a great lady.
Right. That's awesome.
Mhm.
So what do you guys think the world would be like if everyone found their divine spark?
Ooh,
Ooh.
put us out of business. Yeah,
Mm.
it's interesting. I don't want to get too lost in this, but Michelle and I, over the weekend, we did like
Yes.
what's called an emotional intelligence workshop.
Okay.
And basically, by the end of the workshop, like we went into it and it's like 50 strangers, like none of us know each other, and they have us do all kinds of different exercises to kind of like connect with each other. And we talk about, our most like challenging events in our lives, and then
Hmm.
some of our most proud moments, and just different things like that. And like by the end of it, like we're like looking into each other's eyes, we're like hugging people that we just met, and it's like it was
Beautiful.
really powerful. And so for us, it was like, man, like we want to like make the world this way where we can all just like connect and be loved, and it doesn't feel like we're like separate and like
Hmm.
competing all the time. And so sort
Right.
of what we learned like in this workshop is what we're trying to do with Divine Spark, just make people more united and connected. And I think with that, almost anything's possible once we can kind of like work together as a team and stop being so like just like
Yeah.
the strongest survive type mentality that we've been doing forever. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Too
Right.
many an
Yeah.
honor.
So I feel like if everyone found their divine spark, like we would walk down the streets in the city and like you could wave to someone and say hi, or like you could just give them a hug, like it would
Right.
just be such a beautiful place, and you wouldn't have to like walk with your phone in your hand and not make eye contact because you're scared for your life. You could just walk
Right.
like the true beautiful human that you are and just connect with everyone. I think it would be
That's
a
right.
beautiful world.
Maybe one day, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's our mission. That's what we're here for.
That kind of leads to my next questions. So do you guys think it's possible for love and positivity to overtake the negativity in the world?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely possible, or else I don't even think we'd be
Yeah.
trying. So I think it's 100% possible, but it's definitely a big task. It's one of those things where like all three of us, like we could really have this vision and go around and try to like elevate people, and we could have a massive impact. But there's going to be times where we're feeling just like frustrated, like what's the point? Because there's like
Hmm.
that
Yeah.
collective, there's that collective people that just want to stay stuck, that want to stay in the sickness, and that don't like see a way out. So there's times where I have felt that, like definitely on our journey, like this is exhausting. Like
Hmm.
Yeah.
nobody wants to change. This is like so frustrating, but we just have to remember that it is possible, and to keep to keep the hope and to surround ourselves with like-minded individuals so that we can lift each other up.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how can we keep up with Divine Spark? What are your guys' pages, your website, and things like that? YouTube.
Mm.
Yeah. So our Facebook page is facebook.com/Divine Spark 8. So we're very active on there, pretty much
Yeah.
post every day. And then our website is a good way to see our services. And our website's probably the best spot because it has links to
Hmm.
everything else on there. So
Okay.
it's divine-spark.com.
Okay.
So yeah, just divine and then -spark.com. And from there you can get links to like my YouTube channel and to our Instagrams and blogs and our crystal shop and things like that. So
Yeah, that has everything.
yeah.
Awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much for chatting with me today. You guys are great. I love what you're doing, and just keep it up because, like-minded people like us is going to be what makes a change in the world. So I really appreciate you guys.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. Back at you, Madison. Thank you.
Thank you
Thanks so
so
much.
much. Love talking to you.
Thanks. Talking to you guys.
Thanks.
Take care.
See ya.